Welcome on over to Automotive World, everyone. I'm your host, Vinay Mystery, and tonight we have a huge story. The Honda Prelude is coming to Europe. This is some really interesting coming out of Honda. Obviously, as the Prelude has been gone for a very long time, and we are seeing the rise of these two-door coupes, these really fun, affordable sports cars that have a decent amount of power, decent fuel efficiency. But we have here news from Motor One. And we're going to use Motor One's article here. Adrian's always got a great article here. But the Honda Prelude is coming back. Now, we've seen this before. We've covered this quite a few times on this channel. As mentioned here, we saw it in October of 2023 at the Tokyo Mobility Auto Show, where we saw some other concepts as well, including from Mazda. While it was initially believed to just be pure EV, there were then talks and then traction, which led us to then find out that it's actually going to be a hybrid system. And so we have here from Honda, they are telling us that they are going to show it off over at Goodwood. This is, like I said, really interesting to see that. Honda still isn't giving us any numbers. They're not telling us anything about the interior. They're not telling us any specifications and things like that. But they are telling us that this vehicle will be shown off at the Goodwood Festival. Really interesting to see this. Because of them not showing off any interior pictures, because of them not telling us about any of the trim levels, anything, and giving us any sort of information, whether it's mechanical, whether it's with pricing, knowing that this is going to be a hybrid, it is only something we can speculate. They haven't mentioned, obviously, if this is going to come to the United States, but they're obviously confirming it's going to be at Goodwood. We do have, obviously, one of the possible, engine configurations, which we actually covered on the new Civic as well, for that hybrid, 200 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque out of the 2-liter. That is possible. It is something we could see. I personally would like to see a little bit more power out of the Prelude. Historically, if we look at Preludes from before, they usually had about 190 to 200 horsepower. So the Prelude has never been a necessarily powerful car, but I think, if the Prelude were to come out, it's going to have, if it can have at least 230 horsepower, 240, 245, just so that way it's competing with things like the Golf GTI and the GR86 and BRZ. I think that'll put it in a much better place. And I think it is very it's possible they can do that with that hybrid motor. It's absolutely possible. But we don't know what engine we'll see. We don't know if it's going to be that same one that's found in the current Civic Hybrid, or if it's going to be something all new. We do know, though, they have talked over at Honda. They have talked about, seeing this model in the mid-2020s. Obviously, most of us are expecting 2027. But, we don't have, unfortunately, any other real information for it. We do know that the 6th generation model is being engineered for both left and right-hand drive markets. So, despite not being, officially announced to the United States, the fact that it is going to be, they are showing it off in Europe, and the fact that they are saying that they would develop it for both right and left-hand drive markets leads us to believe that, there is still definitely a possibility of it coming to the United States, but it is uncertain, especially, just with the way, what these cars are. Will Honda think that will they think it's worth it? Will they make enough money off of this? We don't really have any other information, unfortunately. Like I said, we can really just speculate. Obviously, too, Honda is going to have some constraints in terms of pricing to work with. This is going to be a vehicle that, if Honda wants this to succeed, especially compared to things like the BRZ, the GR86, and the Golf GTI, and even things like the Jetta GLI, this is going to be a vehicle that's going to have to be starting at mid to more than likely upper 20s, and then going into mid 30s tops. Upper 30s, depending on the performance and the horsepower and things, maybe they can get away with it, but mid 30s is the tops where they're going to be, because if you're pushing the upper 30s and even possibly into the 40s at that point, might as well get something like a Civic Type R. So unfortunately, we don't have really any other information. We do know, though, they are serious about this. They want to bring this model back, and we will see it from July 11th to July 14th at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Maybe then we'll find out some more information. Obviously, if they are slating this for mid 2020s, we going into 2024, we're almost there, halfway through the decade, but we might see it on the later half of it. So we'll have to see what goes on. Personally, though, I'm excited. I think this is a great time to bring this back, and I think Honda to bring this back as a hybrid. This is really good. This is a great time to bring it back. I mean, because with a hybrid, you can get a lot of power, you can get great fuel efficiency, and that's when that when you want, like, when you are buying this type of car, you want something that's fun, you want something that's nimble, you want something that can give you a really nice amount of horsepower, a really good amount of fuel efficiency, and ultimately you want it to be affordable, you want it to be attainable. And I think Honda's got plenty of engines that they can tweak around with and easily get to 230 or to even 240, even probably more horsepower, and still make this attainable. I think Honda could easily do it with different powertrain levels within the engine. So I'm really excited to see this model come back. Obviously, this is not the first time we've seen these pictures. I think it looks great. Honestly, like I said, if you ask, to me, it just looks like a GR86 but smaller. I think it looks awesome. Really, really like it. Really, really nice looking. I think for the most part, it works pretty well dimensionally. I'm really excited about it. Let me know what you guys and girls think, though, down below. That is going to do it for now. Until we have some more information, we'll be watching for the Prelude, but we just got to wait and see. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone.